Hello, and welcome back to the We Don't Wanna podcast. This is the show where two certified dipshits make uncertified takes about your favorite series. We are your hosts. I am Zach, and joining me as always, I keep telling him, we don't want to hear about the bear you never fucked. It is Scotty Westside.
Listen, her claws were sharp, but she knew how to use them, if you know what I mean.
Don't want to hear about the bear.
I need to tell you, okay? I just really need to let everyone know about this bear that I fucked, all right? Come on.
Oh my god.
You gotta throw me a bone over here, am I right?
Hey.
Throw me a bear bone.
A
I don't know what
boner.
I'm saying.
There's a dick joke.
Yeah, we
before
gotta
a
get,
minute in.
We gotta get at least 3 in.
We do gotta get it in.
We gotta get at least 3 in before the first minute. That's required by law.
Dude, I only have 2 holes. I can't get 3.
Debatable, Zach. If you put your mind to it, you got plenty of holes, my dude. You just mind over matter that shit. How are you doing this week, bud?
Oh man, I'm good, man. I kind of all set up in the new apartment.
Yeah.
So that's tight. It probably doesn't look much different because it is quite literally the same apartment. I just had to move like 2 buildings over.
The same complex. So
right.
Not the same apartment.
Well, I mean, it is the same layout and everything.
Is it like flipped reverse or is the same?
It is flipped.
Okay.
So I'm a little.
Is that weird and discombobulating?
It is, dude.
Yeah,
so
I
like,
bet.
I keep walking into the restroom with my dick out, like ready to piss, forgetting that it's on the other
And
side
it's
of
the
the restroom.
kitchen.
And it's
and I have guests in there. And I'm just like, excuse me, I gotta piss on my guests.
Exactly. No,
That's
so
great.
our restroom's like really long because it connects our bedroom and our like hallway. Like there's 2 entrances to it.
Man,
So it's a long restroom.
there was a really good joke there, and you just decided not to use it.
What?
My restroom is really long because I have to have space for my giant dick or something.
No,
along
but
those
that would just be a lie.
That would just be... The best jokes are lies. Come on.
Can't be a liar.
I can't be a bullshit. Okay, I call bullshit on you for that.
There's a lot of things I am in this life, but a liar's not one of
There's a
them.
lot of things I lie about, but my dick size is not one of them.
Okay, that maybe is
There you go.
correct.
There you go.
Oh my god. Anyway, yeah, it is a little discombobulating, but
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
a cool upgrade. I got like wood floors now, got quartz countertops.
Yeah. Speaking of your, so it is quartz. I was correct.
It
then.
is quartz.
Okay.
It is quartz.
Speaking of your quartz countertops,
No, I don't have a hole.
you
in
don't
it.
have a hole yet, man. We're talking
it's
a
so
lot about
fucking
holes.
annoying. Dude, we are talking a lot.
We're
This is
talking a
par for the
lot
course, though.
about. Listen, this is on brand. Okay.
So
This is a
look at
legit
this.
hole, though. This isn't Zach's shitty holes. This is a legit,
So-
real hole.
I have to tell this story. This is actually ridiculous. Okay, so in our complex, or these apartments have like a nook where we have a desk built into the apartment.
Uh-huh.
It's pretty convenient. It's got shelves above it. It's real nice.
Yeah.
And you know, desks usually have like a little hole in them to stick your dick in. No, just kidding. Obviously for the wires and everything, right? Like just
Yes.
wire management.
Correct.
And we move over into this apartment, and we're excited because this whole thing is an updated unit, right?
Mhm.
Like new countertops, new floors, new
And you
paint.
had to move units because the one you were in needed to be updated.
Exactly,
Right.
right. So we couldn't like re-sign our
Right.
lease there.
Because
Anyway,
I'm sure people are out there wondering, why would you stay in the same complex but move units? So
Right. Our lease was up. They said, hey, sorry, we can't re-sign you in this apartment. We have to update this building. You can transfer.
Right.
So that's what we did. Anyway, real excited about this. It's a lot nicer and just more modern and clean looking. And I start setting everything up, and I realize that there's not a hole in this quartz counter desk thing.
And Zach loves holes.
And
Loves them.
if you guys are actually, even if you're new, you have probably figured out by now. I love holes.
True.
Get a little Vaseline up in there. No, I am just kidding. That's terrible. That's a bad joke.
I mean,
Shredding up the sides of
what do we do here if not tell bad jokes?
and so I start freaking out. I'm like texting Scott and Jeff and Chaz,
Mhm.
yo, how do I drill through this thing? Like in my head, I'm like, I gotta put a hole in this fucking countertop
Yeah.
and deal with the repercussions later because I cannot do this. For those of you guys that don't know, I work from home and I can't, like, it's not a fully remote where I can work off a laptop. I have a desktop, 2 monitors, like I
Got a
I
lot
have
of
a
work
full
shit.
fucking setup.
Yeah.
Plus podcast stuff, photography stuff, video game stuff. Like it just would never work.
So many wires.
I have, dude, this is terrifying. And I know you like an
Yeah.
organized space, so like
Oh,
you're going to freak
boy.
out, but like
I can't wait to see the
like all of these wires, let's see if that will focus. All of these
Yeah.
wires are really annoying, and then there's like
Oh,
more.
Jesus Christ.
It's really bad, and then there's more on the other side too.
I was kind of expecting worse, to be honest. Like it's not
Well,
great, but it's yeah.
I don't know, that shit just stresses me out for
Sure.
like a
No, like
workspace.
listen, I hear you. Clean. What do they say about like clean space, clean mind? Something I don't know. Like
Clean asshole, clean. workspace,
yeah, that's it.
and
That's the
it's
one I'm trying to think
baby
of.
wipes and stuff.
Well, so yeah, so Zach texts us and is like, "Hey, do you think I'm capable of like what would
Doing
it
this
take
myself.
basically like to cut a hole in this marble top?" And he texts this to like the group chat with, like he said, Chaz and Jeff and everyone. And bless his heart, Chaz is immediately like, "Oh yeah, dude, no problem. Get you this, and this, and you'll be through that thing in 10 seconds." You know.
Chaz used to do flooring. Chaz knows how to do this.
Chaz is a little more handy. Me and Chaz are, I would say, more on the handy end, and Jeff, and that's why he's asking us. Zach, I know is not super handy. Like you're not incompetent, but you haven't done a lot of things like that.
Yeah,
and
no, I
Chaz is
haven't.
like, "Nah, yeah, man, you're good to go. You're good to go." And I'm like, "Well, first of all, that looks like quartz to me, not marble, which is quite a bit harder than marble. So that's gonna
Did
be."
you say harder?
I always say harder.
I do like it harder.
And so I'm like trying to like caution and be like, I also just like, are you sure I'm gonna be wanting you to just like some random amateur just like drilling holes into their nice new quartz? I'm trying to be the voice of reason for once. Also, Jeff, shouts to Jeff. Jeff was like, "Yeah, dude, they're not gonna let you. They're gonna be so."
Yeah, Jeff was like, I'm pretty
if
sure
they
they're
do
not
that."
going to be okay with some
Yeah.
dipshit putting a hole in their fucking countertops.
Yeah. And I'm like, dude, you'd be better served to go through the wall. And we're just talking this all out. But turns out they're gonna do it for you, right?
They're going to do it for me.
Okay.
I hit up. So in my head, I was like these new ones just don't have it. I called them up and I'm talking to them about it. And they're like, "Oh, no. There's supposed to be a hole in that." So it turns out like the contractor like missed one or the factory
Shit
missed
happens.
whatever it was. Yeah, shit happened. And so yeah, I'll be getting a hole.
Get the brand
Put
new
in.
shiny hole put in.
Yeah. Then I'll have 3 holes. Then I can take 3 in the first minute.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I'm glad for that.
That's my life.
I hope you get your wires organized and sorted. And that goes well for you.
Man, did we just talk about marble and quartz for the
Hell
past
yeah.
10 minutes?
Hell
All
yeah,
right.
brother.
This is how we're starting.
I
this
also had to
podcast.
organize some wires this week because I got a new TV delivered yesterday.
I wasn't going to ask how you're doing. So
Well, I'm just
way
gonna.
to
That's why I'm just gonna
assume
tell you.
people give a shit.
Yeah, of course. So yeah, I had to organize some new wires, moved the old TV into my bedroom, which I've always kind of been not against, but just like I never thought I wanted it or needed it because I'm just like, no, when I go to bed, it's sleep time. I'm not looking to like watch TV in bed. That's my sleeping area, and whatever. Now that I have it in there, I kind of love it. So,
Dude, I love it when I have it in there also.
True. Big true. But yeah, I also was dealing with wires and holes and you know how it goes. You know.
Yeah, wires and holes and
Yeah. Pushing rope, you know.
dude.
I'm just pushing rope through holes.
Dude,
constantly.
I have people reference that to me now. Like,
It's-
constantly.
yeah.
It was so funny.
Yeah,
One of
yeah.
your better jokes.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
If you guys are
I stole it
not
from
watching
Archer.
House of the Dragon, please go and do that. Those episodes are a ton of fun. And
Also, that show's real good.
it's real good, man.
It's real good.
It is real good. So I wanted to ask you, look, we have a lot to talk about
Yes,
today
we do.
because we're talking about a banger of an episode, but I do want to ask you. This is the the anchor show right now of We Don't Want a Podcast.
Sure.
So this is our time to let the peoples know how life is going and catch up with Zach and Scott.
Right. That's why we talked about quartz and pushing wires through holes for 10 minutes.
And pushing rope for exactly. Have you watched any more Rings of Power?
I have not. I'm still only 2 episodes in.
Dude, I'm caught up. And this show is not good.
See, that's why I'm just not in a hurry.
But like in a way, I'm truly amazed by it, because how do you fuck this up? Like, do
you think it's making you appreciate House of the Dragon more? Like, is that the silver lining here? Is you're like,
I don't want to take away from the credibility of House of the Dragon by saying that, but it does present another fantasy, like big picture fantasy, to be able to contrast with. So in that respect, yes, but that is not in any way to say that like that's why I think House of the Dragon is great. House of the Dragon is fundamentally fantastic.
Agreed. To your point about how do you fuck this up, I think easily, to be honest. Like, listen, it is hard to make good television, good anything, good media of any kind. It is, like, I respect the hell out of the people that do it well, because shit's not easy. Like, 99.9% of television especially is like hot garbage, in my opinion. And some of it can be enjoyable, even the hot garbage.
I get like, that, but I just feel like that's more expected from like the shows that like turn and burn.
Sure.
You know, that like...
You're saying with the amount of effort that was put into this.
Correct.
And money
the amount
and
of time
budget
and effort and the minds that were involved and I mean, I will... It's hard to lump the production into the same conversation, because this show is truly one of the most beautiful shows I've ever seen.
It's shot very well. It looks nice.
It is gorgeous.
Yeah.
And if you're somebody who geeks out on that and wants to look at really beautiful scenery and like very epic shots, then go watch it. But if you, like us, are watching and listening to Game of Thrones, House of the Dragon, listening to this podcast, and you guys are of the same mind where you appreciate more of a character-driven story and more of, I guess just like more interesting characters and people who are likable and like easy for you to invest in, man, you guys are gonna be lost and searching very hard in that show.
You know what's wild is
it's so disappointing.
Exactly what we're talking about was my fear for House of the Dragon before it started. I think we specifically told you I think they will put the time and the budget into that show and it will look very nice, but I don't think the writing and the acting will be very good. That was just my fear, my expectation. I don't know why I had that in my head. And it seems like that's exactly what Rings of Power is, and House of the Dragon is not, thank goodness. So maybe this is just like an expectation thing. Maybe I need to just always have my expectations shitty.
It's not, but it's not. Again, that's taking away from how good House of the Dragon actually is. It like,
true.
I don't know, man. I'm just like truly disheartened.
Yeah.
There have been some good moments in that show. The most interesting character by a mile is Elrond and his relationship with the dwarf, Doran. I think I forget, but
great. I mean, listen, we struggle with names.
Yeah.
I think we would have been unbelievably lucky if both of these big new epic fantasy shows were good. Like 50-50, like 1 out of 2 ain't that. You know, be thankful, I guess, for
that's. I mean, look, that's totally fair. And also, before we move on, one last very quick thought. I just wanted to get this out there. I did tweet something to this extent, but I am not a Silmarillion like
scholar
lore buff. And I am not in any way, shape, or form part of the mind that is like, oh, you're ruining Tolkien's lore.
Jake!
And like, fuck right off. Yeah, Jake, come on, my guy. I am watching this as somebody who appreciates television, who
Right.
appreciates good film and television, and it is just simply not that. I don't give a fuck what story they're telling, but if you're doing it badly, then I'm not interested, and it has been so disappointing. So there's the we don't want to take, because I feel like you're gonna feel the same way.
Yeah.
Just gonna go and speak for you.
I'm sure eventually I will catch up. Maybe I won't. Who knows? But I'm not in a hurry to do it currently. Let me put it that way. Which does make me sad. But again, we got the one.
It almost makes me
so.
sad that we are not doing the podcast on it, because I love talking shit about things.
Because it would be easier to talk shit.
So many listeners wanted us to do that too.
Dude,
like
the last episode of Wheel of Time was one of the funner episodes to do, even though it was just pure shit talk.
Yes.
Listen, seasons 5 through 8 of Game of Thrones are coming. We'll have a chance to talk some shit. Not that they're the worst. I'm not trying to say that, but there will be things to talk shit about.
Sure.
We should probably get to it.
We should do this thing,
because there is a lot to talk about. This is Game of Thrones season 4, episode 9, or episode 39 if you prefer, simply titled The Watchers on the Wall. Zach, why don't we jump in here and hit this recap? Why don't you start us off, pal?
Yeah, you said the first 3 pages are mine.
Yeah, I'll pick up at Pip, finally.
Okay. We begin atop the wall, where Jon and Sam are keeping watch. Sam wants to know what banging super hot Ygritte was like, but Jon's not a damn poet.
True!
Did you put that in there because I don't think Ygritte's hot?
Yes.
You are something else.
Also, because that's just fact. She just is.
She's not.
Also, Jon's not a damn poet.
Very true. Near Castle Black, Tormund, Ygritte, and the Thenns are waiting for Mance's signal to attack from the south. Ygritte is big mad and is ready to kill some crows, especially Jon Snow, who she calls dibs on. Gilly and little Sam figuratively waltz right past them all with no one noticing them.
They're just right there.
Yeah, dude, it's so dumb. Sam and Maester Aemon have an incredible conversation about remembering better days and pining for lost loves. Gilly and little Sam arrive at the gate, and Sam gently requests that Pip allow them entrance.
Very gently.
Very gently.
Yeah, very gently.
Just like how Dumbledore calmly asked Harry.
Did you put your name in the goblet of fire, Harry?
Gilly begs Sam not to let them send her away, and he tells her that they'll never be apart again. The horn sounds twice. Mance has lit his signal fire. The men of the Night's Watch prepare for battle. Sir Alliser admits to Jon that they should have sealed the tunnel and explains why leadership can be so shitty. Does a great job explaining it.
He does.
Sam hides Gilly and the baby in a storeroom, but she's upset that he's leaving them to go help fight. Sam is not the coward he once was and says he made a vow to help his brothers defend the wall, then kisses her. Bravo, Sam. Bravo,
Sam.
My guy, Sam.
Bravo, my guy.
Pip is crazy nervous because he's never actually fought before, and Sam gives him a great pep talk. A great pip talk, if you will.
Nice.
The wildlings begin their advance, and Sir Alliser gives all the men atop the wall a very kind and encouraging speech. Very on brand.
Very on brand.
Ygritte, Tormund, and the Thenns attack from the southern side, and Alliser goes down to help giving command to Janos Slynt. Sir Alliser gives the men at the bottom an actual legit stirring speech, and the fight is on. Janos has a nervous breakdown. Dude, this whole thing.
My dude is in shambles.
Dude. Sweating buckets, man. Janos has a nervous breakdown on top of the wall, and Grenn tells him that Sir Alliser needs him below. Jon now has command atop the wall. Janos goes and hides in the storeroom where Gilly is.
Pip finally hits a crossbow shot and is super pumped about it, only to immediately take an arrow from Ygritte through the neck. Sam holds him as he dies. On the northern side of the wall, 2 giants use a mammoth to start pulling down the outer gate. Jon sends Grenn and 5 men to hold the inner gate. Grenn promises they won't make it through. Sir Alliser fights Tormund and takes a wound before getting dragged inside by his men. Sam casually kills the Thenn warg because he's a baller and goes to the winch cage to get Jon. He tells the young boy Ollie to winch him up, then to find a weapon and fight them. Sam gets to the top and tells Jon they need help below, so Jon gives command to Ed and goes. In the tunnel, a giant has gotten through and charges the inner gate. Grenn rallies his 5 men with the Night's Watch vow, and they clash with the giant.
Fuck, man.
Sam and Jon arrive at the bottom of the wall, and Jon tells Sam to unleash the beast. Jon starts going absolutely ham on the wildlings, and so does Ghost. Styr, the leader of the Thenns, spots Jon, and they fight. Jon loses his sword and gets his face smashed, but prevails by burying a hammer in Styr's skull. He starts to look for his sword, but Ygritte is right there with her bow trained on him. Ygritte hesitates, then takes an arrow through the back from the kid Ollie. Ygritte tells Jon they should have stayed in the sexy hot spring cave, and then dies in his arms. Back atop the wall, Ed makes like the Grim Reaper and drops a fucking giant scythe on the climbing wildlings. The rest of them retreat for the night, but Ed notes the Night's Watch is still outnumbered 1,000 to 1. Down below, a wounded Tormund is still trying to fight as the battle is ending. Jon wounds him some more, then orders him to be put in chains. Sam goes and gets Gilly, and also sees Janos Slynt cowering in the storeroom. Jon tells Sam that this is only a test and that they can't hold much longer. He says he's going to go and try to find Mance and kill him. As they're leaving through the tunnel, they find the bodies of Grenn, his men, and the giant. They held the gate as Grenn promised. Jon hands over Longclaw to Sam because he promised Mormont he would never lose it again, and heads out past the wall to find Mance. And that is episode 39, Watchers on the Wall.
I don't even know how to begin this, man. This is truly, actually, I know exactly how to begin. This is truly incredible because in my head, this episode lives in the top 10, like kind of without questioning. But I feel like I get a little too wrapped up in the episodes, like what we're gonna discuss next week. They're all character moments, and it encourages me to put those episodes above what we just watched, above this episode.
Versus
until I watch
episodes.
until I rewatch this episode, and then I am like truly in awe. And I feel like personally, I don't know how you feel, but I feel like personally, I do not give this episode enough credit, and I would like to amend that here and now.
That's fair. I feel like I have always given this episode a ton of credit, but even that being said, every time I rewatch it, I feel like it goes up a little higher in my rankings, to where now I'm at the point, this might be my favorite episode of the entire show. Like, it is that
phenomenal.
high. Minimum top 3 for me.
Wow.
Minimum top 3. Like you said, we talk a lot about like the character moments and how, generally speaking, we prefer that, like the quiet talks, the, that kind of thing versus the big action. What this episode does so well is balance both of those things.
Yes.
Perfectly.
Oh my God, yeah. And it in a very subtle way.
Yes.
It gives us a breath when we need it in order to make room for those character moments, which I don't know, it just no episode flows like this.
It's true. Like there's the calm before the storm, like the opening moments are very quiet and character heavy and very good. But there are also several sprinkled throughout, like you said, to kind of where it breaks up the pacing, breaks up the action, but it's done so well and in a way where it's it feels right. It flows,
Yes.
you know, and you like need those breaks to catch your breath almost.
And it has something for everyone too.
Yes.
Like it's got fantasy, it's got comedy, it's
Mhm.
got drama, it's got love, it's got it's got action, but like not in like the fantasy medieval war action, which it does have that,
Mhm.
but it even has like just an action sequence that's like
Yep.
cool badass action, you know?
Yep.
It is just stacked with things to love. And yeah, man, this can be extremely high on anybody's list.
Yeah, I'll tell you what's maybe most impressive about this episode for me is, generally speaking, the stuff in the South, I'm thinking specifically King's Landing, is almost always, without exception, the most interesting stuff in the show.
Right.
And whereas the Wall stuff, while I love Jon and Sam and a lot of the characters of the Wall, it's not like the most riveting material always. And the fact that this episode is all the Wall, you know, much like Blackwater in season 2, where it was all King's Landing, it's still so good, even though, you know, none of these characters would be, you know, the absolute top of my list. Like I said, I like all these characters, but they're not the Hound. They're not, you know, Tyrion. You know, those top tiers are not Tywin, Jaime. And that's just so impressive to me that I love this episode so much. Like I said, every time I watch it, I'm like, God damn, this episode is just beginning to end excellence. And let's I think we just need to kind of run through it here. I don't think we need to go like beat by action beat.
Sure, right.
But
we'll just go through some of our favorite moments.
Right. Right at the top, the conversation, like you mentioned comedy, and I'm so glad you brought that up.
Yeah.
Because there is a good blend of comedy in this episode, and this first scene is exactly that. Where they're talking, and
so what was she like?
What is I don't have written down what Jon says. Oh, he says she had red hair, and just the look on Sam's face, just like, what the fuck? Come on, dude. And he just goes, "Oh, how big were her feet?" just like one of Sam's greatest lines ever. I love him to death. How big were her feet is so fucking funny. But it's just another very sweet like conversation between Jon and Sam, and it's just like,
I love how Jon's like, "You mean you never with Gilly?"
Yeah.
And Sam's like, "No,
nah."
I like. Plus, you know, she never asked.
Yeah, it's like, no, she just had a baby and my vows, and also she never offered.
And Jon's like, "Okay, but if she did?"
Yeah.
And I love how Sam like tries rationalizing the whole like vows thing.
Sam
which
is
I mean, he's
fucking
not
guy.
wrong.
He is the GOAT for this. Just like, listen, by the letter of the law.
Technically.
Yeah.
I just love how he's like trying to make it fit his narrative for a little Sally on the side, as he would call it.
He's the best.
Yeah, and then very shortly after this, I'm gonna move to to Maester Aemon. Is that?
Yeah, that's fine. Obviously, we kind of already talked about it, but the bear you never fucked scene is an all-time classic. Like, I feel like
also hold on.
Constantly.
No, actually, I'm glad you called this out. I should have written it down and I didn't, but I do think that it's very funny because it is kind of the classic like Ygritte does not stop talking about it. And stir, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is like you're talking as if like we all like you're trying to prove so. Who are you trying to convince?
Yes.
Basically.
She's trying to convince herself, obviously.
Yes. And I love how he's like, or she's like saying that he's gonna that she's gonna kill Jon and yada yada yada, and the Thenn is like, I reckon you're gonna serve him up a nice slice of ginger minge, and she's like, oh, you've been thinking about this ginger?
You've been thinking about that ginger minge.
Oh my god!
Wondered what it tastes like. He's like, maybe I have.
He's like, Scott definitely had.
True.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that scene is also great. The Tormund just like, I love how aside from Ygritte, like there's like a quick shot of some other wildlings. They're all fucking way into this story. Like they love the Tormund. Yeah, they love the Tormund bear fucking story, which is just so funny. We love Tormund, obviously. Everyone loves Tormund. So anyway, yes, we can move to Sam and Maester Aemon.
So this is how this scene actually plays out, okay? This is ripped directly from the show.
Okay.
Sam sitting down in the library, very sad. Maester Aemon walks in, popped collar, sunglasses on at night, and he's like, I got bitches. I got bitches lined up, dude. Lined up.
True.
Dude, he just fucking is
dude
savage, bro.
Yeah, he is like, dude, do you know who I was? Who I am?
You ever see the swing in my pants?
Lined up for miles, bro. My favorite line from this scene that I have here is when Aemon says, I was in love once, and Sam's kind of like, really? You were? And Aemon is just like, you can imagine all manner of horrors befalling that poor girl and her child. But is it so difficult to imagine that an old person was once more or less like you? He's like, dude, yeah, I'm old now, but I was young once. Come on, bro.
It's like, dude, I liked a lot of things.
Yes.
I liked to, put it in a lot of places.
To get it in. Yeah.
I like to, I liked holes.
Dude,
3 in the first minute.
Shouts to Maester Aemon.
He's like, now I'm pushing rope, but I still like it. Fuck.
I love this dude. I love him so much. He has another great line about how, like, the irony, like, the gods are cool. He's like, endless books, but no eyes to read them. He just...
Maester Aemon is such an unsung
yes.
fucking hero in this show. He's incredible. I love him to death.
Literally every scene he's in is a winner. Like, just
yes.
an absolute banger. The dude crushes it.
He is actually blind, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, the actor before he died. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He did die a couple years ago, I think.
Yeah, he died a few years ago. I remember we were talking about it.
Yep, but shouts to that dude because he kills it.
Yes. I love Sam walking outside, and he's like, open the gate. And he's like, dude, fucking Alliser told me I can't. Pip, open the fucking gate, dude.
Dude, what a fucking legend Sam is. I love how Pip is like, I've never heard you swear before. And Sam just like, yes, well, best get used to it. It's like, I'm a badass now.
I'm a badass.
It's so good, dude. I love... God, Sam has so many good moments this
episode is... I mean, Sam... If Sam's not in our Who Be Thrown In, something's the matter.
Rest assured, Sam will be in our Who Be Thrown In. I will literally not leave this podcast before that happens.
Okay.
Yeah, so Gillian, baby Sam. Okay, also, I just have to call attention again how very funny it is. Gilly and Sam walk within like 20 feet of the wildlings, and they're just completely oblivious, and that just cracks me up for some reason.
Okay, so you know what's really funny about the whole like Gilly walking by the Thenns and, well, I guess the wildlings.
Right, what?
Is that until you mentioned that like a couple minutes ago, every time I've seen that scene and they're all talking around the campfire and then you see the person walking, I'm always like, who in the fuck is that? And why did we see that? Like, because like it's like a cloaked person.
Serious?
Yeah, I've always been like,
wow,
dude, what?
Dude.
Who the fuck is that? Is that a scout? Or like, I don't know.
You are
And
something.
then directly after that, we get Gilly knocking on the door, and I've never once pieced it together.
You are real dumb.
That's I know. That's real fucking dumb.
That's actually pretty hilarious, though.
So right after this whole Gilly thing, we get the sounding of the horns.
Yes.
And let me tell you, man, when you talk about something that is like invigorating in an episode, it is hearing these fucking horns and the music
kicking in.
The music kicking in.
Dude, the music in this episode is so fucking good.
So good, dude.
God damn, it's so good.
Truly, it is fucking good, man. Like I think back to like them standing there and then hearing the horns, and I'm just like, oh fuck, dude, here it goes. Yeah, I'm gonna fucking bust. It's so good.
True. I love this small talk between Sir Alliser and Jon.
I do too. Yes.
Where Sir Alliser ride or die for this guy from moment one. You know how I be.
I know how you be.
You know how I be. This is just such a good little conversation where Sir Alliser's just like, 100,000, you say? And Jon's like, yes, sir. And he's just kind of like, you can say it if you want. I told you so, basically. He's like, we should have sealed the tunnel when we had the chance. And then I'm paraphrasing because I didn't write it down exactly, but basically he effectively says like, leadership is having a bunch of little twats like you question your every decision, and you know, then he's basically like,
it's when you start questioning yourself,
right? Exactly.
That you've lost your leadership.
He's like, you've lost. If you start questioning yourself, second guessing yourself, you're done. You're
done, and all the little twats that follow you are done.
Right. And then he says, basically, he wraps up this conversation by telling Jon, like, we're gonna make it through this night, and you and the rest of the little twats can go back to hating me, and I can go back to hating you, and that'll be that. And it's just like,
he says, I'll go back to wishing your wildling bitch.
Yes, that's what it is. Yes,
had put that arrow through your heart or something like that.
Yeah, I should have written down more of that speech.
It's good, man. It is very good.
It's so good because it's like, from this man who, from the jump, from the very first moment we have met him, he has been an unnecessarily large asshole to our boy Jon. But this humanizes him so much in just a brief conversation.
Yes.
And you know, he's absolutely right. Everything he says about leadership is 100% spot on.
Yes.
And
well,
yes,
like 90% spot on.
Right. And yes, it's like, okay, all these things you're saying is true. You don't have to be such a dick about it all the time, though. But it's just, man, I ride or die for Sir Alliser. I love this guy. Love him.
Yeah. Very good scene. And which brings me to kind of circle back around to what we were talking about when we finished the recap. Like, in this span of time, we have had character moment after character moment after character moment. And I feel like this is kind of par for the course when we're just before a very large battle.
Blackwater was similar, like leading up to it.
Blackwater was similar. There's an episode that I am personally a huge fan of in season 8 that is also has this type of feel.
Yeah.
And I love this stuff, man. I mean, we talk about this all the time. It's in these moments that you get some of the deepest and realest and most vulnerable conversations from a lot of characters. And it's just so easy to be so wrapped up into it.
Yes.
It's so fucking good, man. I love that because you see that slight turn and more human side to Alliser. You know, you see
100%.
Sam grow a pair. You see here in just a second, we're going to talk about Pip talking about being afraid.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, it is fucking fantastic, and it needs to go known that this is only accomplished through great dialogue writing, and in episodes like this, the script, the dialogue is through the roof.
Yep.
I cannot appreciate it more. It is so fucking good.
I'm glad you called that out, because it truly is, when these characters they do not waste these moments. The writers, the actors, they do not waste these moments, because when these characters are facing imminent death, it is, very natural and expected that they, become more reflective, more vulnerable, more, more human, if you will. And, in these, when push comes to shove, we are getting kind of truly who these characters are. Like,
Yes.
Sam steps up and shows that he's not a complete coward. We see that Jon and Sir Alliser, for that matter, are like natural leaders.
Yes.
We see that Grenn is, just a brave, steadfast, companion to Jon, and it's just like, oh, we see that Janos Slynt is a total fucking bitch coward.
Greasy cunt.
Yeah, he's a real, true greasy cunt. And it's just, they capture that in this episode so perfectly. And it's just, you don't get these types of moments. Well, in this show, you probably get them more than others, but like, they don't waste it, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Like, it's just, every single character gets their kind of introspective, reflective moment.
Right.
And they all shine. Like,
Yes.
without exception, honestly.
Yeah, truly.
It's not too much long after this. This is skipping ahead a little bit, but I do love the part where Sir Alliser tells him, archers knock and everyone else hold. And they all immediately full draw, and, Grenn knocks the barrel off accidentally.
Drops the barrel. Yes.
And he goes,
Does knock mean fucking draw?
I said
No.
knock. I said knock and hold, you cunts. Does knock mean fucking draw? Does hold mean fucking drop? And then
Do you all plan on dying
Do
here
you all
tonight?
plan on dying here tonight? And they're like, no, sir. And he's like, that's very good to hear. It's just, it's all good stuff.
Yes.
Then he goes down, we made the joke in the recap, or I made the joke in the recap about, he gives them a very, inspirational, yeah, definitely, speech right there. But then when he goes down, the speech he gives down to the bottom is actually like,
Yes.
a great, like,
Those
hey,
are
let's go into
thens
battle.
at our walls.
Yeah.
They eat the flesh of the men they kill. Do you want to fill the belly of a Then tonight? Oh, fuck. I mean, that's just a very short portion
Right.
of it.
I know,
You know,
he says something like, this castle has stood for 100 generations. It will not fall tonight.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
badass,
he's a fucking ruthless leader, and I love it.
Yeah.
So yeah, big fan of the Alliser moments in this episode. So Sam joins Pip on the catwalk.
But right before that, we should briefly talk about Sam gets his kiss.
Oh, Sam gets his kiss.
Sam
You're right.
gets
You're
his
right. You're right.
kiss.
He drops Gilly off in the storeroom. Gilly's like, you just got through telling me we're not going to be, like, you wouldn't leave me. And he's like, I'm not leaving. And she's like, you're going out there and I'm staying in here. That's what leaving is.
He's like, I didn't mean in the same room at all times. Damn, girl. Clingy much?
Yeah, dude. Anyway, she ends up telling him, like, don't fucking die. He goes in for the kiss. They kiss, and she's like, promise me you won't die. And he's like, I promise I won't die.
Big moment for Sam.
A big moment for
Big
Sam.
moment for Sam, because he
Big
is,
boner for Sam.
Yeah, also that. Sam, from the moment we met him, he was a self-professed coward.
Yes.
And now here he is. No, I'm not going to cower in here. I have to help my brothers fight.
Yes.
I made a vow.
That's
what men do.
Quite literally says, like in a very reasoning tone, which I think also makes the landing stick. He's like, I am a man of the Night's Watch. I cannot be in here. Like, I have to be out there. I've made a promise to defend my brothers, defend the castle, and whatever.
Yeah.
And it is just monumental for somebody like Sam. It is truly, truly such a pivoting character moment for him. I love it so much.
And then he goes and he has another. The first half of this episode really is the Sam show.
Oh yeah.
And the second half is kind of the Jon show, but man, this talk he has with Pip is also just fantastic.
It is. Pip Sam is going about business. Like, he's like, we got to get these arrows here, we're doing this, doing that. Pip looks at his hands and they're shaking, and it's a very real scene. Like, it kind of brings you back to, like, yes, this is fantasy, but like, these people are human beings, and anybody would be terrified right here. This is frightening.
Props to Pip's actor, by the way, because he sells this nervousness like incredibly well. Like, where he's like, he can't even get the arrows in like the fucking bucket because he's just like shaking so bad. Yeah. It's very good.
He looks at Sam and says, aren't you afraid? And Sam says, of course. I mean, yes, I am absolutely afraid. And effectively paraphrasing, obviously, is like, if you're afraid of them... Oh, Sam tries to reason with him. This is what happens. Sam tries to reason with him, says, hey, man, there's way less wildlings on this side of the wall than the northern side. And he's like, okay, and if a few wildlings have you feeling afraid, how did you manage to kill a White Walker?
Sam the Slayer.
And Sam responds with a fucking banger of a introspective, like, love, but also inspirational, like, take on this. And he's like, look, man, if you had asked me in that moment what my name was, I couldn't have told you. I was nothing. I was only reacting. I was nothing. And Pip asks him, okay, well then why are you afraid now? And obviously in reference to his, his moment he had just with Gilly, he responds, well, because now I'm not nothing. And it is like daggers in my heart, dude. I adore Sam so much, dude.
Fuck, I love Sam. He's so good in this episode. God damn, dude.
Ugh. So fucking rad.
That's such a good sequence. I love all the stuff between him and Pip. And do you want to talk about it now? The him and Sam and Pip stuff. And you want to come back?
Let's go. Well, yeah.
We might as well get it out of the way here. So, because this is a fantastic moment. Pip, at one point when they're still up on the wall when the wildlings attack, he keeps missing all of his crossbow shots. And as they're coming over the wall, Pip and Sam make the excellent decision to get the fuck out of there. Yes.
Hold on. Can I call out one thing that Pip does? More so as a shout to the actor. This is before they leave the wall.
Sure.
He misses his shots, and the frantic, like, grasping and acknowledgement, I think, that, like, you get from him in the moment where he turns to Sam and he's like, Sam, like, I think we're going to die.
Yes, I think we're going to die.
Is, like, the most humanizing reaction from this fucker. Because, like, I can picture, like, being a child and having a sudden realization and, like, just feeling that, like, not being able to do anything about it.
Just
of
sheer
anything.
Terror.
I mean, like, you could take this from, like, a playful stance, like, where I'm fucking with one of my cousins and I realize he's about to beat the shit out of me, or, like, I realize I fucked up and my mom is gonna beat the shit out of me. You know, whatever it is, just that like almost like adolescent, like naive realization of like, oh my God, like this is gonna happen.
Yeah, this is serious.
Yes. And he has that acknowledgement, and it is heart-wrenching.
It is very, very good. And so they reposition, and Pip finally hits a crossbow shot. He gets super pumped. He smiles at Sam. He said, I finally got one right through the heart. He's dead. And Sam, bless his soul, he looks him in the eye and says, "Oh, is it over?" And Pip's like, "No." And Sam's like, "Well then," and just hands him a reloaded crossbow.
Yes.
And it's very like humorous in the moment, but then it's just like it's like a gut punch because right as soon as he stands up again with the reloaded crossbow, boom, right through the neck, arrow.
Yes.
And Pip is bleeding out in Sam's lap, obviously just like terrified, like whimpering, and Sam is just like, "Shh, Maester Aemon is coming. Maester Aemon will make it okay."
First, Sam says, "I'll go get help."
Right.
And Pip is just
Like grasping at him.
bless him, dude. Is just like, "No, please do not go.
Yeah.
Like, do not leave me. I cannot die alone."
Yeah.
Essentially is what is going through his head. And he grasps Sam, and Sam just stays there and holds him, man. And it is another just truly exceptional scene from Pip, but also from Sam, dude. Sam is just crushing this fucking episode, dude.
It's so brutal because like Pip would barely qualify as like a secondary character in this show.
Right.
He is an ancillary character, but like he's just always been so likable, and they have made the effort and they've put in the time just in this episode alone to like give you these moments with them. So then when this happens, it's just like, oh, it's just like a gut punch.
Yeah. Well, and you and I talked about this like really early on, and I'm sure we bring it up all the time, but like that is what sets television, like this type of television, apart from others, is that like it does take the time and it does put in the work to do that for even minor characters.
Yep. The long game.
Which is why you can make a list of 100 incredible characters in this show.
True.
It's outstanding. And so like when you get to see things kind of like have some finality with some of these characters like Pip, and we'll talk about Grenn in a second, it just makes you care so much about somebody who has 0.01% screen time in the entire show. It's so ridiculous.
I don't know if I'm gonna be able to make it through the Grenn
I
stuff.
can't, dude. I get emotional every single time
with Grenn.
I truly get emotional.
So let's see. Well, I think we skipped. What did we skip here?
We skipped Janos.
Oh yeah.
The chain of command scene where
yeah. But big shouts to Grenn for realizing what's happening, by the way, and just like, taking charge of the situation.
This guy is a quivering pussy. We need him out of here, man.
And just lying through his damn teeth. Good for you, Grenn. Just be like, Sir Alliser says you're the best man he's got and he needs you down below. And I'm just like, bravo, Grenn. Get that fucker out of here. Hell yeah. Little white lie, helps out every now and then.
Right. And we get the very heavy-handed like leadership like thing that happens where like it pans to all of the people on the wall and they're all just standing there like idiots. Oh, because he's gone, we have no idea what to do with ourselves. And John's like, okay, I got this. I got you.
I love how Janos is just like, that's cold rolled steel. And he's like, those are giants riding mammoths down there. Do you really think your cold rolled steel is going to stop them? And Janos is just like in full denial mode. And he's just like, there's no such thing as giants. And just
it's a tale to scare the kids.
Grenn is like, I got to get this fucker out of here.
Yeah, dude.
Gotta get him out of here.
It's absurd.
Great stuff. And that pussy goes and hides with the women and children, the women and babies.
Right.
So, good stuff.
So Sam gets up to... no, I'm sorry. I'm skipping ahead. I'm sorry. John.
John sends Grenn down first.
John looks at Grenn and is like, I need you and 5 men to go down and hold the gate. The outer gate will not hold.
Right.
You need to hold the inner gate. And Grenn says, okay, I will. Very like, sure, okay.
I got it.
And John grabs him before he sets off and he's like, hold the gate.
Yeah.
If they make it through, and he trails off.
Stunned.
And Grenn says they won't. God. And those are John and Grenn's last words to each other. And there's just like this chemistry between the two Grenn, like, I don't know, just the way that these two like look at each other, it truly is just like so much loyalty and love and like brotherhood between them. It is absurd.
Yeah.
And it makes me so emotional, dude. I got so choked up throughout this whole sequence.
Yes.
It is
because we know what's
so
coming.
sad.
Like, this crushes me. Like, I think I was thinking this about a lot of scenes, to be honest, in this episode, but I think the scene in the tunnel is my favorite scene in this episode.
Oh, fuck yeah, dude. Absolutely.
Without
question.
Do we want to let's just talk about that now. Grenn and his men go down, and they meet Sam at the bottom, and Sam's like, hey, we need more men down here. And Grenn's like, we gotta hold the tunnel. And Sam's like, but we need men right here. And I love how Grenn's just like, tell John, he's in charge up there.
He's like, we were told to hold the inner gate. Tell John he's in command.
He's in command. So Sam goes up and they go to the tunnel. And this, they do manage to, from atop the wall, they blow up the mammoth with the oil, the burning oil. Mm-hmm. And they kill the giant with like the giant ballista thing. But there's another one, and this motherfucker is just like, to hell with breaking down this gate, I'm just gonna lift it. Yeah. So one giant gets through and is starting to charge this inner gate, and understandably, Grenn's boys are freaking the fuck out. One kind of
one in particular, yeah.
And just kind of like, we got to get the hell out of here. There's no way we can stand up to that. We've already put 20 arrows in him. And
he's like, John told us to hold the gate.
John told us to hold the gate. And the guy's like, Jon Snow's not Lord Commander. Like, what do you want from me? And I love then how he starts praying, he's like the mother and father and all this. And Grenn's just like, the gods aren't down here, only the 6 of us. I'm just like, Grenn, you're my fucking
how?
Boy. You're so
Look,
cool.
This is precisely my point. How do we have this badass of dialogue given to a minor character like Grenn?
Saying, man.
It is absurd, dude.
And
it's
then
so good.
Grenn gets the idea to start reciting the Night's Watch vows.
He's grabbing this dude by the shoulder, staring at him in the face, and starts saying his vows.
And my chills just won't stop.
Dude.
They all start, it starts to build. They start joining in.
And by the way, this is periodically cutting to this giant, in full sprint.
Yeah.
At the gate. It is terrifying. And our last scene is them colliding.
Yeah. For this night and all the nights to come. Ah! And then just, oh my God, dude. Top 10 anime moments right there.
Yeah, truly, dude. Truly. Scott, man, this, there's a lot to be said about this episode, but this.
I fucking love that scene.
This is. I think that maybe. We've never talked about this scene specifically, Scott, but I think this needs to be in the list.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree 100%.
Like whenever you and I sit around and like talk about favorite scenes, for some reason this does not come up. But it's because it needs to.
It's Grenn and 5 nameless characters. And it's
right?
like you said, Grenn is an ancillary character. And it's just like, how does he go and like just drop this fucking that's just a testament to this episode and how good it is.
Yes.
So
but
Sam,
we have to be able to, like, if we're talking about this scene, we have to be able to talk about the sequence as a whole, like from when John tells him to go hold.
Right. Agreed.
Down to the clash.
Yeah.
It is insane, man.
We'll obviously get to it next episode, but it is this moment, this thing that happens is also referenced and talked about next episode, and I absolutely love that part as well.
Yes.
We'll get to that. So Sam gets up to the top of the wall. Oh, well, first he tells Ollie, fucking Archer Supreme Ollie, hey, you should pick up find a weapon and fight. He doesn't tell him specifically a bow. Find a weapon and fight. And I don't know if that has ever clicked with me before of how kind of indirectly responsible Sam
Ygritte.
is for Ygritte's death, which we'll get to, but I did find that interesting on this watch through.
Yeah.
But Sam gets to the top of the wall and is like, hey, we need help down there. Big time. So Jon passes off command to Ed. Ed looks absolutely thrilled about it. And goes down, and now this episode is truly the fucking Jon show.
First, hold on. With as much as you love your boy Dolorous Ed,
I love it. Love that dude.
Jon hands command to Ed, and Ed's like, okay, I guess.
He did not accept that task the way that Grenn did. Let's just put it that way.
So Jon leaves, and Ed's like looking around like, look, hey, if we're going to die, may as well have some fun doing
love
it.
Yeah,
and everybody's like, oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
And he's like, let's light the fuckers up.
Light the fuckers up.
Yeah, so he has them do some shit. Does he also he's the one that calls for the scythe, right?
Yeah.
The scythe is so cool.
That's
by the way.
towards
like,
the end, but yeah,
it's so fucking cool.
It seems, I feel like it's so impractical and ridiculous, but it is basically the coolest thing ever.
It's fucking bad. This reminds me of something you'd see in an anime.
Yes, 100%.
So
I'm
ridiculous.
pretty sure they use this exact tactic on an Attack on Titan. I've never seen that show, but I'm sure that happens.
Okay.
Jon
gets down.
Oh my god, does Jon get down? Oh my god, does Jon get down?
Jon's not in your favorite characters?
No, he is.
He's just a little too predictable, right? I think
yeah,
is that why?
He's not. He's top 10-ish material. He's not like Sandor, Tywin, like that tier. You know, Jaime. He's like would be slightly below them, I feel like.
You need people to be more pieces
Arya.
of shit in order to be
kind of, I guess. Yeah.
That's the Scott prereq right
True.
there.
Jon is just a little, you're right. I think too predictable is a good way to say. I do love Jon. Listen, I have been the one that's saying on our Who Be Thrown In list, Jon gets done dirty constantly.
Yeah, true.
But this is like one of his biggest shiny moments. He basically tells Sam like, I need my giant direwolf more than I need you, understandably. And then he just like, I'm gonna just start killing motherfuckers.
I do think it's kind of funny and corny how he's like, I need him more than I need you, and it's like very ominous, like you don't really know who he's talking about. He gives Sam the key, and then Sam gets over there and he's like, come on, boy.
Boy, we need you. And I'm just like, hell yeah.
Let's go, calling in the fucking cavalry, dude.
Yes. I love how they're like 3 feet from the bottom, but Jon's like, I can't wait. I gotta make this look. I gotta make this look cool as hell.
What a fucking movie star, dude.
Seriously, I gotta be an action hero. I gotta do this sick jump and roll for no reason whatsoever.
It's so funny, dude. You know why this happens? It's actually because Jon is, or because Kit Harington is shorter than everybody.
Oh yeah.
Like he has to make up for the lost time of
the lost time.
The lost time of his stride.
Yeah, you got little baby legs. We love you, Kit. This fight between him and Stur is also just great.
It's brutal, dude.
It's brutal.
It is.
I love it.
Good.
It's real good. I don't know who did the choreography on it, but I feel like they did a really good job of kind of portraying what like a sword versus an axe fight would be like, because, you know, Stur is kind of like swinging like a madman, and Jon like kind of has the reach on him, so he's doing like a lot more like poking. But yeah, it's a good fight, man. It's a cool fight.
Yeah, and
that
like
the face to the anvil
hurts
dude. Me.
It's rough, man. It's I think there is only one-on-one fight in this entire series that we will be talking about very soon. That I think is more brutal
You sure we didn't just talk about it? Are you talking the Mountain and the Viper?
No.
Oh, okay.
See, I only think the ending of that fight is brutal. We'll get there, Scott.
Fair. But yeah, then just the hammer to the skull, man.
Oh, dude.
Good stuff. Way to go, John.
I also I do love the character kind of moment for Ygritte where she sees the fight happening.
Yeah.
And rather than making her move, she's like, she can't bring herself to it. She's just watching.
Yeah.
She's probably thinking, yo, my guy is hot as shit, dude.
True!
Look at this motherfucker move, dude.
He's looking good.
Dude.
He's looking real good.
Yeah, great fight. Also, you didn't mention this, but the one shot we get.
That's it. Yeah. I just realized, like, oh shit, we have to talk about
when the music starts and this one shot starts. It is just insane, dude.
This is a 45-second long, 360-degree, basically shot. One continuous shot, and it is so fucking impressive and fantastic. That's what I always, we talked about, obviously, the scene in the tunnel. When I think about this episode normally, like, this shot is what I normally think of as, like, oh, that's got to be, like, the best part of the episode. But that tunnel scene. But this is still crazy impressive. They pulled this off.
Definitely.
Nice ringtone. Also, quick shout out. I think this was a little bit earlier, but shouts to my dude with the giant cleaver that just is like walking around. What? Okay, so
it's the chef.
I suppose it's gotta be, but at first I thought this was like a reference to Donald Noy, who is not in the show but is in the books. But then I realized no, he's got both arms, so it can't be Donald Noy. Maybe this is Three Finger Hob, the chef. But he's also got all his fingers, so I don't know who this is supposed to be.
I think it's got to be the chef.
He kicks some ass with that cleaver, man.
Yep.
Shouts to that dude.
Truly.
So then, of course, we get the Ygritte Jon showdown right after he kills Sturt. He's kind of like disoriented, looking around for his sword, and there she is.
There she blows. Actually, we get the actual true antagonist of this episode. And it's not even Ollie as a whole. It's just the smirk that Ollie gives.
It's the smirk.
And
it's
the nod.
The smirk and the nod. Like, I got you, bud. It's just like, I want to beat that kid's face so bad, and he hasn't even done the worst thing he does yet.
Yeah.
That's going way far ahead, but fuck that kid.
Yeah, fuck that kid, dude.
Fuck that potato-loving motherfucker.
Yeah, holy shit.
This breaks
scene.
my heart.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a little less moved by the Ygritte death scene.
I know you are.
I've never been as, like, crazy about her, but it is a good scene.
It's a good character moment for Jon.
Is it? It's exactly what we'd expect.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying, like, I guess more what I mean is just like it's done effectively and it's done well.
Sure,
like,
okay.
Obviously, this love story between the two of them was never going to end well. We kind of knew that.
Shocking.
And I think it's done justice. And I do love the shot of where he's holding her, he's cradling her, and the battle is kind of raging around him in slow motion. I think that shot is probably my second favorite part of this episode. It's done really well.
Interesting. Homeboy drops the scythe, and they all realize that they've had enough for tonight.
You know who's had enough? Is fucking Jon when he goes up to Tormund. Dude is just over it, and I love this Jon, how he's just like, Tormund, fucking knock it off, dude. Just fucking stop.
Right.
And Tormund's like, oh yeah, you'd like that, wouldn't you? And Jon just extremely nonchalantly grabs the crossbow, shoots him in the leg, and then like goes and kicks him while he's down too. And Jon is just so over it, and Tormund's like
Jon
screaming at
is
him.
quite literally the Ben Affleck smoking meme.
Yes,
in this
100%. But I love it so much because Tormund yells at him, I should have thrown you off the top of the wall when I had the chance. And Jon's just like, you should have.
Yes.
Very badass. Good. My dude is he's into it right here. He's feeling it.
So this is you know what, dude? We didn't even mention Alliser
and Tormund. Hell yeah. They have a solid little fight, yeah.
Alliser gets a little outplayed, unfortunately. He gets
holds his own though.
He does hold his own. He gets thrown over the banister, and his exit, I think, is very funny. Like, all these little minions swarm him and just like drag him off, and he's like shouting,
fight!
I would have gotten away with it too if it weren't for you meddling.
True.
It's very funny.
That definitely happens.
But yeah, Alliser, that's my boy. Good fight, good looks, my guy.
Yeah.
So Jon and Sam are kind of recapping the night and are like, dude, there's nothing to celebrate.
Yeah.
Like, we're gonna have to do this all over again tonight. We just lost half of our men.
We won't hold for long, basically.
Right. And Jon has devised this fucking ghost recon plan in his head, and is like, well, it's got to be me.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, truly, who else though?
Yeah.
And just decides that he's going to go venture off into the north and try and find Mance to assassinate him.
Yeah. Cut the head off the snake.
Right.
He even tells Sam who's left to give orders. Like, Sam's like, you're going against orders. And like, who the fuck is left to give orders? Like, what are you talking about, my dude?
Right. It's a cool scene. I think what really makes it for me is when they walk through the tunnel and see Grenn.
Yes, absolutely.
That is just.
Jon says they held the gate, and it's just like, oh.
Shuts his eyes, and it's just so emotional, man. Truly, it breaks my heart. I've said this 7 times already now, but like it breaks my heart, and I got legitimately emotional like each of these times. Like when Jon assigns a task, when Grenn's down there, and then here, I got actually teary-eyed. It's just so good.
The Pip one hurt a lot. This one I think hurts a little bit more, honestly.
Yes,
like
I
just
agree.
because just like we talked about when he first gave him the task, like Grenn was just so it was very, different characters and kind of different way they face their endings. Pip was obviously like terrified and trying to like get comfort from Sam, and Grenn was just like very like, nope, this is what we got to do. Jon told us to hold the gate, we're gonna hold the gate, reciting the vows. And it was just,
there's just, I feel like, and this might be like some type of like typical men, like brotherhood, honor, like that fucking bullshit. But there is just something about the way that feels.
Yeah.
Like
the last stand.
Yes.
Yeah.
And doing it out of, like, I mean, obviously a last stand is one thing, but doing it because of the brotherhood and loyalty that he has for Jon.
Yep.
Is I think, in my opinion, what makes that so moving.
That is a trope that will never get old for me.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
As long as it's done well, I will fucking love that till the day I die.
Up.
Yeah, I will eat that shit up over and over again. Love it to death.
So
that's pretty much the episode.
That is the episode, man.
He gives long claw to Sam. It's like, I promised Mormon I would never lose it again. I love how he even tells Sam, where he's like, this is a bad fucking shitty ass plan. What's your plan, buddy? God, what a fucking episode, dude.
Yeah. That's I do want to say too, see, here's the thing, like, we keep having to do this, but also this happened. And it's because, like, not only are there a lot of cool things, we said this earlier, but like there are so many character moments in this episode. It is absurd how much we get. But what I was going to mention is that that's such a leadership thing to be doing. Like, that is just so true to character. And, everybody's resting. Everybody's like, holy fuck, like coping and processing. And Jon's on to the next. Like Like, he's trying to figure out how we get to the end of this thing. He's planning and trying to make a decision to truly fix this and truly manage this.
Yeah.
And I just love that shit, man. It's your classic leadership loyalty thing that I am just like, I eat that shit up.
100%. Like, this is the Jon Snow, like, big time leadership coming out party, like, for sure. One more shouts to the music. I forgot to mention this earlier. This is also a really cool shot too, by the way. It's kind of when the attack is just starting from both sides, and there's that cool shot that kind of goes over and down the wall.
Yeah,
and
dude,
there's like
cool.
You can see the wildlings running up to the gate and like the fire arrows shooting at them.
Right.
And there's this really like thwangy, like, instead of just like on the strings, instead of like, you know, the bows, like the cello and the violin, they're like, it's like picking. I'm pretty sure it's like very thwangy, and it's almost
thwangy. Okay, that's a new one.
That's what I'm going with.
I love it. No, hey, it's
almost like emulating like the sounds of the bowstrings, but it's like part of the music for the scene. And like it, along with that shot being very cool, I was like, that stood out to me as like, God, this music.
Yeah, the sound design in the entire episode is fantastic.
Yes,
like 100%. even some of the big sounds too, like the giant sounds, the scythe being dropped is another one too. It everything just sounds like monstrous and like
for sure
encompassing. I feel like you're just totally lost in the episode. It's great.
I 100% agree. Let's do that thing that we do.
Boy, I'm chafing, by the way, because that was a huge jizz fest.
That was a big. we love us a big jizz fest. It is time for Who Be Thrown In. Let me recap who we had last week. Then we'll jump into this.
I don't even know. I don't remember what happened last week.
This is from the Lion and the Viper.
Mountain and the Viper.
Yeah, the Mountain and the Viper. Sorry, Lion and the Viper. Last week, I don't know what we were doing. Tyrion was one somehow, even though he lost his trial by combat.
It was because of the beetle scene.
It was because of the beetle scene, I know. Oberyn was 2, despite the fact that he died. Boy, our decisions. Littlefinger was 3. I don't even remember him in that. It's been so long since we recorded last episode. Just FYI for everyone out there.
Yeah, truly.
Sansa was 4. Oh yeah, hot goth Sansa. And Roose Bolton was 5.
Yeah, because he reclaimed the North.
Oh, right. Okay. Let's go ahead and bring all of them down, because none of them are in this episode.
You better not touch Sir Pounce, though.
I kind of want to, though. No, it's fine. I was thinking we should have a different character there, but he will make the list. Ghost? Well, okay, so here's what I was going to say about this week as I try and get rid of all these characters. I feel like there's really only like maybe 6, maybe 7 actual candidates for the 5 spots.
That's great, because we have 5 spots, so.
But would you let me fucking finish? The placements of those spots are what's going to be really difficult, I feel like.
Okay, well, I feel like the first 2 are going to be no-brainers.
And I did actually, hey, you'll be proud of me, because I knew there were going to be a lot of characters I didn't have yet, so I went and got them ahead of time.
Wow. I am, you know what? Everybody applause all around.
Yeah.
For Scott.
Just pop these characters on here, and then we can start placing. Where is, yeah. Why are you all the way over there? There you are, my guy. Sam, where are you at? Maybe there's more than I thought it was gonna be. Ghost, sure, why not? Where are you at, Aemon? There you are. Okay. Have I forgotten anyone? So currently, for the audio listeners, I guess I should do that. The characters I have collected here at the bottom of the screen are Sam, Grenn, Pip, Jon, Ygritte, Sir Alliser, Aemon, and Ghost.
No Janos?
Good one. Tormund?
No.
Yeah,
no way.
So, yeah, he loses pretty badly. I think this is it. So there's 2, 4, 6, 8 characters for 5 spots.
I mean, I've got my 5 already, man. So
I think I know who my 5 are too. Okay, so Jon and Sam are 1 and 2, right?
Yes.
The order is what might be difficult.
The order is Jon and Sam. Because although this is a great Sam episode, very much in the same way that I petitioned Tyrion for Blackwater, you cannot think about this episode without acknowledging how incredible Jon is and what he did in the episode.
I 100% agree, and as the chairman of the We Have Done Jon a Disservice Committee for so long, I think I agree with you, and I'm not opposed to it. I will just say, Jon did have to cradle the love of his life as she died in this episode.
I don't feel like that's a setback.
Okay. Fair enough and fine. Like I said, I think earlier, the first half of this episode is basically the Sam show, and the second half is the Jon show. I'm fine with either positioning.
I would even go as far as saying that I feel like Sam has more great scenes.
Sam has more great scenes, agreed.
But Jon does more for the episode and the result of the episode.
It is a leadership coming out party for Jon. It is a, hey, I'm a super badass warrior coming out party for Jon. I mean, I guess he kind of did his stuff up at Craster's Keep, but he got a lot of help up there too. Yeah, I'm totally fine with that. We'll put Jon at 1 and Sam at 2. This is where it gets a little more difficult.
Can I just say mine?
Do you want to say yours, or do you want me to say what I'm thinking first? Who wants to show the
feel
hands?
like what you're thinking is probably going to be what I'm thinking.
Grenn, Sir Alliser, and I'm torn on the third.
In that order too, right?
Possibly.
Yeah, I mean, that's my order. Grenn, Sir Alliser, and I feel like it's going to have to... Oh, man. I think it's going to have to be Pip.
I'm torn between Aemon and Pip. I'm fine with Grenn at 3.
Aemon do got bitches, though.
Aemon do. God, he says such a... Honestly, that scene is shorter than I remembered.
Yeah.
But it is so good.
Yeah.
The ghost can go, like, or should he take Sir Pounce's spot?
No.
Okay, fine. He's barely in it. Good for you, Ghost. You done good, kid. But yeah, you can go. We are moving Grenn to 3. Honestly, I would love to put Grenn higher, but I just cannot justify it.
Yeah, no, I thought about that too.
Absolutely powerhouse episodes. Sir Alliser fucking crushed it this episode. Even he should be higher, but there's just no way. Shit. I don't think
Ygritte's in
Ygritte,
contention.
yeah, I love Ygritte, but I think I agree with you. So that leaves it between Pip and Aemon. We're not forgetting anyone, right? I don't think we are.
No. I mean Ollie.
Fuck Ollie. Stir.
Ollie's nod.
Yeah,
that's what we're forgetting. Just the nod.
If I can find a gif of just that nod.
You know what it is too? Is it I keep doing an up nod? It's not even that. It's more of
yeah. What a
the stupid
fucker.
Smile.
God
damn.
I think I am
Pip, man.
Slightly leaning Aemon.
I don't know, man.
I'm fine with Pip. I'm fine with Pip.
Let's rationalize this for a second here. Pip.
Well, Pip will never get a chance to be on the list ever again, and Aemon will be on the list again.
That's not even it though. Just like quality of episode, we get more character from Pip.
And that's what I'm saying. Honestly, the Aemon
more full circle, more start to finish from him. We get one good scene with a good line from Aemon, but the progression that Aemon has in this episode is nothing when we're looking at the progression that Pip has in the episode.
I agree. Like I said, in my mind, that scene was longer and more substantial, and it's still very good. Don't get me wrong. Mm-hmm. But I gotta agree with you. I go Pip. So that leaves us with Pip at 5, Sir Alliser at 4, Grenn at 3, Sam at 2, and Jon. Truly his coming out party. This is his first ever number 1.
You should probably stop saying that because like he's not like coming out. You know?
No,
like,
yeah, he's coming out.
Jon's straight. I think.
That can have more than that meaning, Zachary.
Man, this is 2022, man.
What a fucking great episode.
Truly.
This is Watchers on the Wall. Maybe my favorite episode of the entire series. Maybe. It's way up there.
See, I when I think of my favorite episode in this show, spoiler alert, I think of next episode to everybody listening.
And so have I for a long time, but
season 4, episode 10, The Children. Next week is going to be another banger. I've always petitioned for it to be considered to be the best episode in the entire series. But I feel like just rewatching this, man, and I think rewatching it under a little bit closer lens. I mean, I watch things very intentionally regardless, but there is something different when we're sitting here taking notes for the podcast, you know?
Yep.
I am just blown away. I am baffled that I have not ridden this episode like harder.
You have not like gone to bat for it even more.
Yeah, I mean, no, like I said at the beginning, at the top, that like I do always like picture this a top 10 episode, and I've always said that. Like I'll start firing off episodes like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you know, and it's like it's always somewhere in there.
Yeah.
But I've never like sat and made a case for it, and I feel like I have been severely misjudged the quality of this episode until now.
No, yeah, this episode's amazing.
Not misjudged, underappreciated.
Sure, underappreciated is a good way of saying it. I think top to bottom, like the performances, we talked a lot about the music, the balance it attains with humor, character moments, and the action, all flawless. And it gives unbelievable send-offs to two characters who I shouldn't care about them as much as they make me. Like, they're in the show, like you said, for like 0.0%, of the time, but like it makes me so emotional and sad, and I get so many chills and goosebumps during that tunnel scene. It's just like
Truly, yeah.
It's a phenomenally done episode all the way around. So
all the way around.
That's gonna do it for us.
No, it's not. Scott, rate the episode.
Oh shit! Right, thank you. This is a 10. Yeah, it's a 10. I can't think of a single thing they could have done better.
I'm always so reluctant to give a 10. Like I always want to do like a 9/9. You know, like
like
it's 10. Nothing's perfect.
It's a 10. Even the things I laugh at and make fun of, I actually love, like John jumping out of the thing early, or Gilly walking right past them. Like I still love those things. They just make me smile.
All right, it's a 10.
Yay! 10s all around.
That's the first. Hey, look, this is a monumental moment for us. It's the first time we have had the same rating, I think, and also it's a 10.
We do like to not copying each other. That's a 10. Pure vanilla. This episode is pure vanilla.
This episode got to aerate. All 9,000 taste buds.
Warm it up. Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate you being here. We love having you. Let us know down in the comments what you think about our perfect 10 ratings, or
Yeah, what's your rating? We need to start asking you guys. How do you guys rate this episode?
Join us in the Discord if you want to do that. We'll send you a link. Check us out on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all of the things. Like, comment, subscribe. You know what to do. We don't have to tell you, but we'll tell you anyway, just because, we're nice like that.
Yeah, the call to action is for the algorithm, Scott.
It's for the algorithm. We probably should do it at the beginning. Zach, do you have any final thoughts? Anything else?
Other than that, I want to go immediately watch this episode again.
Right.
I think I've said probably too much about this episode
for
now.
Sure. Well, it's going to keep going strong. Next week, we are closing out one of the most incredible seasons of television ever. RIP to season 4 starting next week. When we will be going over the children.
Oh, we should also mention we will be having our good friend Chaz back on the episode, as this is also one of his favorite episodes.
Hopefully. Why do I get the strong feeling that he's going to bitch out on us?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Like that?
Maybe I'm being a dick. I don't think. Sorry in advance, Chaz, if you don't in fact bitch out. But yes, he will hopefully join us for episode 10, the children, episode 40, the children, and join us then. That's it. Thanks for coming. Why are you still here?
Bye.
Get out of here. See you next week. Bye-bye.